Allowed yourself to think that this could be the last game you coach at Staples Center?
No, but thanks for bringing it up. I haven't thought about that.
I thought it would be something that you would have mentioned to the players. That would be your style.
Now we will.
No, probably won't. I don't anticipate that's going to happen.
Well, Ireland took us off track. What about Kobe?
You know, he'll play.
And what do you expect out of him in terms of quality of play?
That's to be determined.
Well, in your brain, how is it you determine how it's going to go?
Well, I'm not a great predictor. Otherwise, we would have been over with this series right now. But I'm going to anticipate that he's going to rise to the occasion. And just, think that that's one of the things that, he always has a hole card.
Well, have you seen him do anything like basketball that he'll have to do in a game, run, jump?
No.
Cut?
He bounced a ball, kind of looked at the basket a little bit this morning out in the court, but he didn't do any activity.
Do you believe he hasn't had any test?
Yes.
So do you think that is a smart thing to do?
If he knows that nothing's, it's just a minor injury, if he knows his body that well, yeah, I think it's okay.
Don't you think a doctor would know better?
Well, a doctor doesn't know. He looks at tests,
okay,
and then he makes an assessment out of that. But,
But when you think at the given his career and everything else, you would want to go check to see if there's something more serious?
Well, I'm not going to question that. I mean, you are. I think it's okay to do that. But that was his decision, and it's, something I think he can live with, and we can.
Phil, I see you have the 72-10 ring on, the Chicago ring for your most successful season there. Was that the next ring in the rotation, or did you pull it out specifically for this?
No, this is the next ring.
Well, can you guys win without him? If he can't be even close to what he can be, can you win?
I don't know. We'll find out if it comes to that.
Is a lot of that determined by Pau Gasol?
All of our players. I mean, everybody figures in. Right now, Ron's been probably the best scorer that we've had in this series as far as percentage and opportunities.
You're going to have to coach some more?
I don't know. Was that a question or an aside?
No, that was definitely a question mark at the end.
Go ahead. What did you say again?
Are you going to have to coach some more?
I've been working at it.
So you've been playing Kobe. You played him 40 minutes in the first game and then 36 since then. You've been down on the road
yes.
For the last game. Is that like a hard cap that you have in your mind, and then why stick to that level even in the playoffs?
I think that it's, with every other day games, I think it makes sense for us to do it that way. We were right at right at that point. Game's close, 1 point, 3 points, whatever. They extended the lead a little bit with our second unit out there before we got it back again. So, they haven't gone away, and so it's been close enough where our unit coming back in can carry the day, but they didn't do it this last game.
Why has Chris Paul been?
You don't feel like he's got 40-plus in him every night throughout the playoffs?
He may, but there's still games ahead.
Why has Chris Paul been such an issue for you guys to deal with, and are we making too much of him?
I think it's their picks. I think it's the as you may recall, Okafor was called for some picking fouls early in the series, 1 and 2, but I don't remember them getting any fouls. They're knocking our guard off of, Chris Paul, and, we've got to get that guy through or around or by so we can get back in front of him again, so our bigs don't have to take care of it themselves. And so that's one of the things we have to either avoid, or we have to get to that spot where he has to detour around the pick.
Phil, Kobe sprained his ankle earlier this season against Dallas. Does that give you any indication as far as present time, as far as what?
I think they're two different things.
How is that one?
Was Kobe on crutches yesterday?
No.
Was he walking around?
No.
Is there any concern, like, when you take him out for his normal rest, that the ankle will stiffen up?
Yes. Halftime, I anticipate there'll be a little bit of that'll happen.
Are you disappointed in Gasol?
No, I'm not.
Really?
I think he played okay at game number 4. Obviously we'd like to see him play better in the first game, initial game in the series. In the second game, he had I think a letdown, and he was physically limited due to his illness that he had. But I think he's back. I think he's okay.
You didn't want to get carried away after Game 3, but that the team played really well, and that it might portend to anything. Is that was it something you saw in the game, or was that more about the character of this team and how they've, been
That's the type of games we win. Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Establish a lead, hold on to it, do it on the road. That's a road game. It's a recipe for a good road win.
Why did you think that would?
What is or was Powell's physical illness?
What do you have, upper respiratory?
Why did you think that was going to have any carryover?
I thought we had it all set up, but we couldn't finish that half. We had a 12-0 run in game 4, and that 12-0 run, I think it was just aided by the non-goaltending. The call that was missed as a goaltending at a 4-point lead would have made us 6 and would have, kind of given us that edge when they made that run. But that went by. They got a layup at the other end, and things snowballed from there. And then, this is a team that the Lakers have played very well from ahead. When we want to establish that.
Are you faking us out by being calm? I mean, are you being in the dark with Kobe here? Isn't that kind of, upsetting as you get ready to go into a game number 5?
Well, I think the questionable thing is, how well can he play? Can he help his team when he's on the floor? Do we stay with him if he doesn't help the team because he could be a liability on defensive end? Will they attack him? All those things are all part of the picture, and I'm going to have to make some decisions around that as the game goes on.
This is a tough game for you then.
Yeah, tough.
How does that impact the first 5 or 6 minutes of what you guys are doing, though, while he figures out what he's able to do?
Well, I think he'll have an idea. He usually has a pretty good idea. He watched the tape after the game while he was doing some form of treatment on the plane and was talking about knowing spots he can get to on the floor that he wants to operate from.
Does this feel like Oklahoma City last year, or does it feel more dire?
It feels more like that Houston series we had 2 years ago, where it was, they're just kind of games that we couldn't get a hold of or didn't really get involved in the right way and got lost contact.
After the
Just on the Kobe hurt angle, Kobe, he came back from Oklahoma City. Kobe looked slowed almost to a halt by the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Came out, guarded Westbrook. Still only scored 13 points himself.
Right.
But I mean, it seems like Kobe is at another crossroads. Where we just don't know what to expect of him.
That's right.
After the first 3 games, Monty sent in tape to the league talking about your guys being 3 seconds in the lane that he didn't think was being called. When you're talking about their picks being set, is that you're talking about your guys aren't getting around the picks the right way, or they're not legal picks?
Well, they're allowing them to happen, so they must be legal, right?
Okay.
As strong-willed as Kobe is, you're going to have to butt heads possibly tonight.
Could be.
You're okay with that?
Have to be.
Who gets the final say?
Well, you noticed how willing he was to come out of the ball game in New Orleans. Do they have that hook from the Apollo Theater that I could use?
I think we've seen a couple different Kobes when he's coming back from an injury, trying to figure himself out. One where he shoots a lot at a low percentage, and another where he is very dedicated to get the ball inside to the bigs. What do you prefer?
Well, I prefer he plays the game that's given to him. If he sees opportunities, I think he should take them. And he should be aggressive out there to do what he does best. That's the best part of his game.
Effective, how many minutes would you expect him to play?
About the same as he played last time. 36, hopefully somewhere in that area.